Welcome back, traders, to StatOasis Academy. My name is Ali Casey. Today's video is about a question I get, I guess, often to solve a problem in Strategy Quant X. I actually want to clarify something that obviously there is no tool that is perfect for everything. And SQX, Strategy Quant X, is not meant to be programmed. So if you want to do really programming, add variables, do arrays, then Strategy Quant X is not for you. Having said that, you can do some stuff in Strategy Quant X. It's just going to be cumbersome, I think. And so I don't think it's suited for everything. But I do try to help people who want to, I know it's not cheap, so you want to try to do everything in it. Taking that point of view and keep it in mind, let's go and solve this question. So the question sent by a viewer of the channel, and thank you for the nice words. He wants to create a strategy that follows these conditions. It enters the market long when the EMA 50 is above the EMA 200, which is very easy. And then the red candle touches the EMA 50, and then a green candle closes above EMA 50 without getting more than 3 candles closing below EMA 200. Once you are long, then it's 2 times ATR below entry, that's the stop loss, and 1.5 this, which is 3 times ATR, that's the profit target. And he's wondering how to do it. And then a related question is, again, thank you for the nice word, and he wants to create a template for Strategy Builder. He needs to define a percentage of price movement, which means the price of an instrument goes down 5% of its value, then make a buy order. Both of these, they are difficult because you need to create a variable. If you go to Algo Wizard, of course, there is no variable. You have to create it. So that's why these kind of questions is difficult. I have done, I think, a couple of videos before about variables where we do a counter, and they're all the same. All these problems fall in the same category, which is you need to program a variable. And then, of course, if you want to do arrays, then just forget it. So, you have to treat each platform with its strengths and weaknesses. In any case, it's still solvable. So let's try to do it. So I'm not going to do this one. It's the same thing. We're just going to build this one. And of course, he wants to do the opposite. We're just going to do the long side, and then you can do the opposite. Algo Wizard. And let's set the engine. So I put TradeStation and I put the ES and set the contract size to 1, and trading options are open. So first question is, when the EMA 50 is above the 200. That's easy. Can go here. Let's just type exponential. So exponential 50 greater than 200. So that's condition 1. Then the red candle touches the EMA 50. Now the person did send a picture which I think is very helpful. And let's look at this. So this picture explains the strategy. We will go long when the EMA 50, which is this line, above the EMA 200, which is this line. And then when the price retraces to the EMA 50, then we start counting that no more than 3 bars falls below the EMA 200. And when the price breaks above the EMA 50, we will go long. So now we need to define the red candle touches the EMA 50. So from the picture, we can see touches, because you have 4 points in each candle. It's the high, low, open, and close. So we have to assume one of them. And in this case, I'm going to assume we're using the close. So if I go back here, I can add a rule. And this rule is if then on bar update, and rule triggered is on bar open. Let's add, and we will call this rule, let's rename it to close smaller than EMA 50. So this is the rule. And what happened, we can decide that when the close crosses below and not is lower or equal, we because it has to cross below. It's a condition one time. The EMA 50. So that's the condition, which is this one. So when this happens, I have now to start counting how many candles will be below the EMA 200. So this is my flag. Once this flag is on, I need to set it on. So this needs to be a variable. So we'll add, so this is the action, and in the action we can initiate a variable, assign variable, click confirm, and then the variable, it's a new one because all these are used, and we'll just say create new variable, and currently you cannot rename this. It will be helpful if you can rename it, but currently you cannot. And now we're going to assign a value. So just a number 1. When this condition happens, then I will set the flag, and the flag is variable 5 equal 1. When will this flag be 0 again? The flag will be 0 when the price crosses above the EMA 50. So in that case, I can set it 1 here, so I don't look for another cross down. And then when it crosses above, I set it back to 0, so I look for the signal again. So let's create that rule. And then now it's going to be when the close crosses above the EMA to EMA 50. So when that happens, let's pick again. I decided on the close. Crosses above EMA 50. When that happens, then I need to reset my variable. So again, I'm going to assign a variable, and now I have it because I created 5, and then we will assign a 0. When it crosses below, it's 1. I count the candles, and then when it crosses above, it's returned to 0. One important distinction here is we need to set it to 0, not on this bar. We need to set it on this bar. So that means when it goes above, I need to shift it by 1. So when the close 1 bar ago crosses above the EMA 50 1 bar ago, then I set it to 0. Now I need to create another variable which will count the number of candles going below the EMA 200, because that's the third option, which is the green candle closes above 50. Forget this one for now. Without getting more than 3 candles closing below EMA 200 before it. So this is the condition now. And then this one. So the condition now, no more than 3 candles crossing below the EMA 200. So that variable, we need to create a new one. And this will start counting when this flag is on. So let's create another rule, if then, and we will call this counting bars above EMA 200. Condition 1, we need to make sure that we are below the cross happens, and that is the flag set by variable 5. So let's bring variable 5, and we need to make sure that variable 5 equals 1. Okay, so now I know that I am below the EMA 250, and I need now to count that the how many bars below EMA 200. So let's add, and although it doesn't show, but I decided to use the low. Of course, you can use anyone, but let me use here the low is lower than EMA 200. So every time this happens, I need to count. Now we need to initialize a new variable, which is variable number 6, because we're already using 5. So we create a new one, and it will be 6. And now we will count. So it just says initialize variable 6. And now the formula is going to be counting. So we just add 1 to the variable. So let's go to function plus, and then we'll use variable 6 plus 1. So every time this happens, I add 1 to variable 6. So variable 6 will hold the number of bars touching, or the number of lows going below the EMA 200. Now, if I leave it like this now, this will keep counting forever. It will never go back to 0. So I need to reset it to 0. And this should happen when? It should happen when I get my signal. When I get the signal to go long, then the counting should stop and reset to 0. So that means it's this one. When the close above the EMA 50, I should reset my variable 6. So the action will be when this happens. Let's add it here and assign a value. I'm going to reset it. So just a number 0. So now when the cross happened below, I set flag, which is variable 5, to 1. And then when the cross goes above the EMA 50, I reset the flag to 0. Plus, I reset my counting variable. The counting variable, once I have the flag set, variable 5 to 1, then I start counting. So now we have all these set. We need to go and set the conditions. So condition 1 was that EMA 50 above 200. Condition 2, the red candle touches the EMA 50. And that condition is this guy. It's variable 5. So we go here and we add variable 5. And when variable 5 equals 1, then we set this condition. The third condition, which is the green candle, closes above 50. So we pick close above EMA 50. And then the last condition, which is no more than 3 candles closing below 200. And that is variable 6, which holds the count. So then we add, and again, variable and 6. So variable 6 should be less than 3 bars. Less than 3 bars, that means we have to go less than 4. So less than 4, that means only 3 bars. So those are my conditions. So now let's test the strategy, not the strategy, let's test the logic and see how it performs before adding the profit target and stop loss. So let's run a full back test. And that strategy, okay, we need to add some exit. So let's exit after 5 bars. Okay, so let's zoom in. Let me see if we have here. Yeah. So every time it's a breakout, we go long, we exit after 5 bars. And when the close goes below E, so this is the EMA 50 and this is the EMA 200. So every time it dips down and goes up, we go long. Down, up, go long. Down, up, go long. Down, up, go long. So it's performing as it should. Down, up, go long. Down, up, go long. So the price goes below. And here we have 3 bars below the EMA 200. And here we have 2, 4, 6 bars. Actually, it's more than 6. Yeah, so this would be easy to test. So the price goes down below EMA 50, and 3 lows go below the EMA 200, and then price breaks out. So if it's 3, then this trade will be true. If it's more, if it's less than 3, if it's 2 bar, then this trade will be false. And this trade happens on May 17th, so 3 bars. So if we go back here and say this is less than 3 bars, so then that trade should be false, which is this one. On May, this trade, 26th of May, it should be false because of this. So let's test. And zoom, go 2004, and it is correct. So we tested that. And the reason I'm saying this is because I have no other way to see the value of the variables. Like I mentioned, so SQX is not meant to be used this way. So we are stretching the capability of Strategy Quant X. And in this current version, there is no way to find out what's the value of the variable. So I need to see the logic is working correctly or not. And we can see now it's working correctly. So now let me go back to making this 4. And now let's add the stop loss and profit target. So we go to long entry and we remove the exit after 5 bars. And the stop loss, it's very easy. It is 2x ATR. So he didn't mention what's how many days, how many bars the ATR. I'm going to assume it's 20. So let's put ATR based 2 times 20-day ATR. And profit target, again, ATR based. And this time it's 3 times 20-day because it's 1.5 the risk. And let's run a test. And let's go back to our trade and see how it's. So this is stop loss, and there's a profit target, another profit target, and stop loss. So it's working, and we can. This is now we have another line, which is the ATR, which is this guy, and these stop loss and profit target are based on it. And here I might want to add something when I say simplicity is better. You can see that the ATR, we're making 50,000 on 45% drawdown. So risk reward, risk to drawdown ratio is 6.8. And if I remove these guys and do just a simple 5-bar exit, so actually we get a better risk to drawdown ratio, 7.3. So a simple exit after number of bars is much better than optimizing a stop loss and a profit target. Of course, that doesn't apply all the time, but believe me, it applies more than 75% of the time. Just a simple exit will do. But in any case, like I showed you, I don't use stop loss and profit target. I only use them in many trades, and then I optimize them based on the MAE, which is the maximum adverse excursion, which is this guy. And you can also optimize the profit target on the MFE. But for a simple strategy or single strategy, usually exit after a number of bars or exit after the close, below close of day before or above day before usually works better. So that's it for this strategy. I hope this was useful to you. As always, don't forget to smash the like button, as Google algos like that, and again, they're going to push this video to other traders. And if you like the content I'm producing, please do subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when a new video gets uploaded to the channel. And as always, stay safe and I'll see you soon.